Do, re, mi, skibbity, re, so, skibbity, re, fa, fa. La, ti, ti, ah, do, re, mi, I wasted my money on my designer shoes. And it was something that started to happen, and now I just started to lose. More money, more money, more money, more money, and I couldn't get it back because I destroyed my NIKE SACAIs. And I wouldn't think that you deserve something like that. These are NIKE SACAIs. Yes. You may not recognize this, but these are the NIKE SACAIs from Louis Vuitton, and I destroyed them. I cannot believe it. Now, a couple months ago, no, it's actually more recent. It's actually recent. 2 weeks ago, my mom went with a good friend of her, named Zolly, to Joburg town. Now, if you're from anywhere outside of South Africa, well then maybe you have never heard of Joburg town. But Joburg town is the most dangerous place within the entirety of South Africa. Joburg town is where criminals, foreign nationals, people who forge documents, and illegal criminals are there. That is where all these dangerous people are. And my mom went in with that lady who runs a second-hand shop to town. And she went for one express purpose and one purpose only. And that was to buy these very shoes. Now, these are very, very fancy shoes. According to the man at the shop, these are real. And I'm not even going to contest him on that. I'm not one of these legit checker shoe nerds. I don't know what makes a real shoe and not. I can't tell you the stitching is this, the stitching is that, this is the design. I don't know, but for all I know, these are very expensive shoes. Maybe $400, $500, $600 plus, maybe even more. These are called NIKE Sacai. It says there, Sacai. And if you want to legit check them, well, check here. You can pause the video as and how you wish. These are NIKE SACAIs. There's the waffle at the bottom. So these are very expensive designer shoes. And you're not going to believe what I did with them. I did something so bad, so terrible to them, that I ended up messing them up and meaning that I can't even wear them. And I want to give you the lesson, and that is that you should never ever buy cream or light colored shoes. Now that's a major problem most people do. They think, let me get a pair of white shoes. They're going to look so good on me. I'm going to be able to walk down the aisle. The women are going to approach me. The guys are going to say, sure, that guy's looking so strong. He's so big. Check out that. He has white shoes on. But let me tell you something, my friend. If you get white shoes, unfortunately, your shoes will get dirty, which is going to have the opposite effect. No longer will you look wealthy. No longer will you look like you're well presented. No longer will you look like you're a big, strong guy and all the women want to come to you. Soon enough, because you're wearing white shoes, they will think that you are a dirty, poor person. Because look at how dirty and disgusting these shoes are. That's why I messed them up. And every couple of days, if I want to continue wearing them and make sure that I maintain my reputation and don't come across as someone who's a poor person, someone who isn't worthy of respect, well, then every 2 days, every 3 days, I need to wash these shoes. And it becomes more of a nightmare than a dream. Now, you might think that getting fancy designer shoes like these NIKE SACAIs are things that are going to uplift you and give you more social status. But really what it does is it just makes you look poorer, because it becomes out so dirty. And this video is about how I destroyed them. So this is what you've all been waiting for. What I did was I took these shoes, and like I do with a lot of things, I leave them outside. I go and play, I go run, I film videos. Who the hell knows or cares? Irrelevant. And I left these shoes out. Now God decided for some odd reason that He was going to divinely ordain it to rain. And so when I woke up the next morning, I found my shoes drenched. And not only did they stink, but they brought all the bugs and all the mosquitoes, so I wasn't even able to sleep. And this is something that happens with a lot of my shoes if you haven't noticed already. I leave them out in the rain, they start to stink, they get dirty, and then I can't even wear them anymore. I can't wear these shoes anymore unless I go to a place where I want to intentionally look like I don't have much money. And you know, when I was younger, I would actually go to these I used to go to the industrial sector with my parents, with my mom mainly, because she was buying Chinese products and then selling them online. And so what we would do is we would go to the industrial sector, we'd meet all the suppliers, I'd shake hands and say, hello, how are you? And we'd negotiate on a price, and I'd help my mom carry all these heavy bags and heavy parcels with the stock. And I learned a crucial lesson when I was there. All of the staff, even a lot of the other guys who were buying and selling at their own hard physical shops, never used to wear designer clothes. They never used to wear a Rolex. They always used to wear cheap Chinese rubbish. They used to wear a broken old shirt. They didn't care if it was tattered or torn, because they were trying to send a message. I hope I'll be recording me up. They were trying to send a message that they don't have much money and therefore they aren't a threat. Whereas when I was going there, I tried to dress up, fancy leather shoes, and it being an industrial area means that it's dangerous. In those industrial areas in South Africa, they have gunmen at the end or at the outside of every single one of those industrial complexes to prevent theft, robberies, hijackings, and so it wasn't a good idea for me to wear my designer clothes. And soon enough, I caught on to this fact and I started wearing dirty clothes. In fact, the one time my mum and I went to a flea market and I looked for the dirtiest pair of jeans that I could find. I made sure that they were tattered. I made sure that they had rips in them. I made sure that they were dirty so that when I went into the industrial sector, no one would ever consider that I had even a tiny bit more money than them, which I actually didn't because I was still a kid, still am. So, I want you to understand that you should never ever buy designer shoes, and if you're deciding to pull the trigger on buying a pair of shoes, I want to get that loud. Yes, you see a pair of shoes, I attack and I buy. Like pulling a trigger on a gun and that's over. Never ever get a white pair or very light colour pair of shoes. And if you do, don't leave them in the rain. Don't leave anything. You know what I've learned? You know water, right? If we take a look at water, it is such a powerful force. Take any technology that you have, be it cameras, be it cell phones, be it laptops, be it TVs, and I could list 10 other things of technology. If you leave it in water, all that happens is it starts to rust. Water erodes. Water makes your shoes stink. Water causes tsunamis which can kill people. But on the other hand, water provides life. Water contains oxygen which sustains and facilitates the proliferation of certain species on Earth. It helps you and I remain healthy. It clears our acne. So how can it be that something can be so good and yet so bad? And I believe that the same analogy applies to shoes. Shoes are like water. Either they make you look poor, they make you stink, and they look dirty and they pick up dirt. Or they can make you look like a billionaire. I remember when I was young I used to watch America's Got Talent. And there was this famous guy who was the host for many years. And there was one thing special about him. I don't remember what he said. I don't really remember his personality or any of the jokes he made. But there was one thing that stood out like everything. It stood out like a needle in a haystack. And that was his shoes. The name escapes me. But he was famous for wearing a diamond pair of shoes. Diamond encrusted, with each of the carats sewn into the shoes. And I remember that. Because shoes can either make a person look poor and degrade their status, or can level them up. And because he wore diamond shoes, we were like, wow, that man's got diamond shoes. And there's a famous song by Simon and Garfunkel. I believe it is either Garfunkel or Simon. He says, I got diamonds on the soles of his shoes. And he went to Africa to learn how to play music, and he worked with a lot of the bands there. I've got diamonds on the soles of his shoes. Not really that beat, not really that rhythm, but that is the kind of the message of his song. That you've got diamonds on the soles of your feet. So I want to pose you a question. Do you want to wear designer shoes that make you look disgusting and dirty and make you stink? Or do you want to not destroy shoes like I have, don't leave them in the rain, and instead level up your status by wearing diamond encrusted shoes? That is a decision that only you can make. But for now, don't ruin your designer shoes. In fact, don't even buy them in the first place.